Welcome. This is the Smartest Dumb People, and I am the host, Anthony That Dude Johnson. And to my right, I have my right-hand man, LV the Great. And we actually got a special guest, Vincent Wilder. Yes, he has came out with a children's book, and he wanted to come through and talk about the book. We got to talk about it. The book is called Captain Buckets. And this is a monumental moment for me as an Omahan, seeing somebody from Omaha create a children's book that played basketball, that then went to college, that then got some degrees, did something with himself, and to have you on my show, brother, it's a blessing. Thank you for coming through, man.
Thank you for coming through.
We got a lot to talk about, but we definitely want to give this man his 20 minutes of fame with the Smartest Dumb People. We got to chop it up with him and see what he got going on. So make sure y'all like and share. That's first step when the Smartest Dumb People come through. Make sure you like and share. We know we need y'all. So I want to start with you and the book. What made you come up with the idea of even doing a children's book, and where did you get the idea from?
It came to me in my garage, a divine moment, as you were saying, godly moment. I was reading books. I do a lot of reading, and I was thinking, how the hell does I'm gonna say people. How do people expect these kids nowadays to read this book? And I was like, well, when I was a kid, I used to love Dragon Ball Z, and I was trying to say, man, if I could do Dragon Ball Z,
show the inside of the book too.
If I could do Dragon Ball Z and mix it with some educational, sub stories, some subtitles, I felt that it would be like the best thing for the kids because they don't really have to think about it. It's just within the story.
So you created it in comic book. I think that's called like comic book form, right?
That's comic book style, comic book form.
That's dope, man. I think it's a dope concept. I can't wait to read it. I just got my copy today. I'm gonna read it, or I'm gonna give it to my daughter. She gonna read it, and I'm gonna make sure. And you said this is also for elementary kids. From what age group?
This is elementary school. This is for primary school. That's the official name. Primary age school, so elementary school, for kindergarten through 5th, 6th grade. And ultimately, it just depends on if you're at that skill level. If you're at the beginning of basketball, check out the book. And if you want to get better, if you're a beginning coach, if you're a youth coach, youth development, just check out the book and you can just take a few things from it and incorporate them in your team practices.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So now they're asking, where can they get the book?
You get it on my website, gbodsports.com.
gbodsports.com. Okay, so now, but the book itself ain't really about basketball. It's more, is it about, as we were talking a little earlier, it's more about life, the experiences, the obstacles, different things that individuals go through.
Yes.
And so, is it more about the hardships of the young man trying to accomplish something?
Yes, you learn the lessons from his hardships. You learn lessons from his victories, from his defeats. Again, this book is called Captain Buckets, but it's ultimately a part of a series, and the series is a series that gradually goes up. So this one you're reading right now is Captain Buckets. Hustlenomics is the next one, and that's for middle school age. But the protagonist is named Amir Abraham, and he is using basketball as a vessel, and he doesn't know it, but unknowingly he becomes the best leader that the world has ever seen.
Okay.
So it's just basically a story off his hardships, off of his successes, and from that he grows and evolves into this
dope concept. They got to know that you were also saying that the book will grow. He will grow with other books. So you got this. How old is he, Amir?
Amir, right there. He's in between the 3rd and the 5th grade.
Okay, so you're gonna watch him grow. Each book, each level he goes to, from 3rd to 4th grade to 5th to 6th to 7th to 8th. However he decides to do his book format, but he's saying that Amir will always grow with each book that he does. I think that's a dope concept. How often do we see that? Because Spider-Man always been the same fucking age. Am I right?
Shit, I don't know. They had Peter Parker. Now they got like a Cuban.
Yeah.
Now they got the black guy now.
Yeah.
throw my boy out.
Well, they got
Don't leave
Black
my
Lives
boy
Matter right now, so we know that's a hot
So
topic.
my guy Mike Meade said that he heard about the book. He's like, this is the book he was talking about. So it looked like you already got a couple of fans.
I appreciate it, man, and ultimately, like, I just thank God that people even, you know.
So where?
No.
Again,
Right.
because I keep getting the same question. Where can you buy the book again?
GBODsports.com/Captain Buckets.
And they can't come see you personally with that 20 or whatever you selling.
Oh, if you come personally, me, you know, it's the regular retail
He
price.
can't
Retail
pull
is
up out.
$15.
What are you gonna pull up out with him in the trunk?
I would. Master P did it.
Hey,
Master P
listen,
sold
listen,
it.
I am too, hey,
Yeah, you
I
ain't
am not
bougie.
too good. I'm pulling up them boots and I'm walking, man. I got, you know, I got a family feed. I got four kids to feed every life.
Okay, I got around there. I got something around there. You know what I'm saying? But just for a little bit more on the author of the book, so y'all know that. Give them a little backdrop about your education, what you got going on. You know what I'm saying?
Good question, LB.
The different things that you do behind the scenes besides the book. If you work with youth or any of that type of stuff.
So I started an organization called Get Better Off Dedication. That's the PC version of Get Buckets or Die.
Okay.
Like, Get Buckets or Die started when I was in JUCO and felt like basketball was coming to an end and I had my back was against the wall. So what you gonna do when your back against the wall?
You gonna come out swinging.
That's what I did. So that's kind of the concept of Get Buckets or Die.
Okay.
And from that concept, I started to do different things, and then basketball kind of eventually faded away. Ultimately, because I got hurt.
Right.
And I got lost in the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the world.
I like the story. Tell the story about you said that your pops told you basketball. What did you say? It was on your post that I shared. You said when you got hurt, Pop said the ball's gonna stop bouncing.
Yeah, my dad's always told me the ball's gonna stop bouncing one day, and I always took that to heart. You know what I mean? I always said like, "Dang, the ball gonna stop bouncing one day," and then ultimately the ball stopped bouncing one day, and then I was in the place where I played basketball from the second grade to now a 24, 25-year-old man, and you asking me what to do after this, and I kind of you get lost. But when I found my oldest boy, he actually started playing at the YMCA, and I started coaching at the YMCA, and I was like, "Oh, I'm getting hyped for these little, second graders. I'm really getting lit for these little second graders."
I'm so glad. I'm so glad you said that. So, as basketball players, because I can speak from personal experience myself, as a basketball player, when you really realize that it's over, that shit is crushing.
That shit hurts.
And I'm telling y'all, I'll tell a quick story. I went to a JUCO tryout at Ira Western. Uncle Dave made me go out there, and I tell people the story because it really happened to me. I played point guard. I was nice. And they said, you got to stick this dude. His name was Arkansas because he was from Arkansas. And he was 6'8" point guard. I'm 5'7".
Yeah.
160 pounds playing a 6'8" point guard.
Sorry, the guy.
And yeah, that's when I realized basketball wasn't.
You didn't have what it takes.
Yeah, I didn't have what it takes.
No, I'm playing.
I didn't. No, let's be honest. That's really what happened. So then the basketball, and this is tailored into what your pop said. Then the basketball stopped dribbling for me, and I was so fucking lost. But I found love in my son playing basketball, which it crushed me when my son stopped playing at the 10th grade. But all the way up to the 10th grade, it gave me love for the game again.
Yeah.
So I kind of agree with your pops in a way, but you are explaining how the ball keeps bouncing.
Yeah.
As you stay involved in these activities in basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's dope. I started coaching and you are 100% right with that, with what you said.
I give all my props to my dad, but one of those things when you a kid and your dad tell you something, you doing the exact opposite.
Right.
Like it don't matter what
right.
is going on, but you doing the exact opposite because that's what he told me to do.
Right.
He told me don't get earrings. Sorry, Dad. Got earrings. Don't get tattooed. Sorry, Dad.
Right.
Got tattooed.
But Pop was involved.
But he was always involved. But ultimately, I'm my own man, and I got to make my own decisions, and I got to do what I feel like what makes me. Vent.
Now I always play the Jedi mind trick or try with my kids, and I try to act like, well, if that's what you want to do, go ahead.
I don't give.
You know what I'm saying? Because as much as I say, don't do that, they're going to do exactly
what you tell them not to.
What you tell them not to do.
Yeah.
And so
I'm experiencing that. So
just so you know, let them know about the you know, you going to Liberty, the quick breakdown.
Yeah, that's the basketball part. I'm rarely input into basketball, but get better off dedication, get buckets or die.
Thank you for sharing, Yo-Yo.
I ultimately, so I come from educators. My mom, my dad, my uncles, aunties, everybody that I knew growing up was teachers.
No shit.
So ultimately, I really didn't, like early on, like second, third grade, I really didn't grasp the concept that everybody has another job in the world. Like, so I thought everybody was teachers because ultimately my parents put me around.
Nothing but teachers.
Nothing but teachers. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm from. So ultimately, that's what kind of led up to me being. I got my associates, I got my bachelor's, I got my master's, and I'm now pursuing my PhD. In educational leadership and higher education. Shout out to all my schools: SCC Storm. Shout out to Park University.
Salute.
Shout out to Peru State, and shout out
the
Liberty
State?
University.
Okay.
All right, the Liberty University for my PhD. But ultimately, with all those degrees and stuff, the hardest one was the associates, because I felt like all the teachers was trying to prove themselves, because they wasn't at that, that level.
Yeah.
But that's what I felt like. But ultimately, shout out SEC, because SEC prepared me for every step of
the
my
way.
Transitional journey into college. So shout out SEC.
Okay. So now, do you feel like that youth sports can curve or even put a band-aid on the violence amongst the youth and the young people in society today?
That's a good question.
Do I think they can?
Do you think it can?
I think it can, but I think it's going to take an orthodox approach. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to be like the traditional way of doing things. It's going to take some non-traditional methods in order for some real change to happen. You know what I mean? Because it didn't happen overnight, and you can't expect it to change overnight. But what you can do is shake something else that they never seen and expect a whole different outcome. You know what I mean? So that's what I approach. I think it can happen.
So do you think that, do you put that when you doing the coaching, do you come with that unorthodox style or that hard edge that I'm going to be hard on you because society is going to be hard? You don't come with that?
Nah, because that's not real. I mean, every time when I was a coach or when I was a player, when my coach got on me, my shoulders are slumped. You know what I mean? I'm down in the dumps. My approach is, I'm kind of free. I don't really give you rules. The rules that I give you is, if you don't shoot the ball, you coming out the game. You hear what I'm saying?
Okay.
But if you don't bust your tail on defense the whole time, if you're not giving me effort, that's where I give you rules. Defensively, I give you rules. Offensively, I want you to be free. I want you to be creative. Because, it don't do me no good to be that hard ass, because that shit don't happen in 2021.
Yeah. Okay. So now, do you coach?
They babies. They brats. They actually brat hoopers.
Okay, so now, do you coach male or female basketball?
Male. But there's nothing wrong with female. There's nothing wrong.
You clean that up because you said male a little aggressive.
They might need to lower the hoop a little bit for the WNBA, but that's something different. That's something different.
I know some girls that'll bust you right now. Shout out Chanel, because she'll bust somebody right now. My point guard in college, she went to Bowie State.
Yeah.
She was a problem.
Yeah.
She was an issue.
For the people that just came in, make sure y'all like and share. We're talking about Captain Buckets. My man's got a book coming out. Mr. Wilder got a book coming out.
It's out.
Yeah, it's out. And it's live.
You gotta grab it.
You gotta grab it. It's for kids, and it's inspiration, because he's showing your children what it takes to be a leader. Ain't that what you said?
What it takes to be a leader. I wanted to also talk about, this kid looks black, right? Mm-hmm. He's black. He is black, but his mom is white. So
right. I peeped that. I wanted to ask that.
Yeah, I wanted to ask that too.
It's an interracial kid. It's an interracial kid, really signifying. If you look at my boy June, he looked like me. Not me, but he looked like our skin color.
Right.
He my stepson, but that's my boy. You know what I mean? But he black. So this is kind of a thing to symbolize is something that he sees as every day. And my other two sons, you know, they're lighter skinned, but this is kind of an exclusive to my baby right here, Junebug.
So it's a reasoning behind the interracial.
Oh, there's a reason behind it, because there's ultimately a reason behind it, because just like everybody else wants symbols and representation, my boys deserve representation.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I'm unapologetic about it. Those are my babies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, so as far as in, you said you had got injured. What injury did you get that made you realize basketball ain't gonna work no more?
Well, it wasn't. I still got eligibility. I got 1 year. Don't try me. I'm saying whoever's looking, don't
Sound
try
like
me.
a competitor to me.
Don't try me. But I tore my quadricep tendon. And basically, when the doctor told me, he was like, "Man, that's like a 60-year-old injury." So it was like one of those things. It was like it was gonna happen. Like,
yeah,
you know, from that, and then I graduated at 23, and I really had 1 more year eligibility. But I was like, "Nah, I graduated. Why am I gonna continue? Because you weren't gonna finish with my master's, you know." But anyway, that's beside the point. But I tried to do it. About 23 to about 26, that's when it was like, damn, I ain't playing ball no more. I started gaining some weight. You know,
man,
I'm working at FedEx because one of the things is I ultimately stopped working for people. I used to work at FedEx. Shout out FedEx, because you put a lot of meals on the table.
Okay.
But, humbly, but there was, you know, I worked for people, and I was working, and I realized, hey,
yeah,
I'm gonna work hard regardless.
Right. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I figured out about myself. Like I knew I was going like I went to FedEx and I was like I started as a package handler and rose the ranks as a manager. You know what I mean? And then I was like, why am I doing this shit? Like
so you working for somebody else?
Because I'm
working for somebody else's game.
I'm really working hard, and I was like, well, shit. I knew, because I was a basketball player, that I would work hard for myself because I was already in the position, get buckets or die, to get the hell up out, to do what I got to do, to work hard to do that. So I'm like, oh, I got to do it myself. GBOD's back.
Okay.
And then from that point on, I quit my job. And you know, you ain't going to act like it wasn't a struggle. Shit, I'm thankful for every day. I got on my knees and prayed to God every day for the moments that I get right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The moments of, you know, congratulations. I'm not doing it for the congratulations. I'm doing it ultimately
for my family.
For my family. And this book is a product of my company. You know what I mean?
And it goes down to your kids. God forbid something never happened to you. And this is what the problem with society is. So many people don't realize you can still start your own business, create a business, and work as you're working towards your dreams. You can't spend 40 hours to 80 hours a week on another man's dream and not your own.
It's tough.
It's tough.
Right. So, what's this? Sabanya?
She said, yeah, she said.
I didn't mean to murder your name,
she
man.
said,
I'm
what
sorry.
steps did it take to get it published?
Okay. What steps did it take? First off, it took me to get
copywritten. Okay.
Copywritten. Shout out to Net. Copy of law.
Okay.
I got you, ma.
Okay.
I got you, ma. But I went to her and she kind of, you know, set the blueprint. She's a lawyer, so she told me, well, this is what I need to do to copyright. Then once I figured out copywriting, shout out Nate Evans. He has a book that's called Building Muscle. He's a trainer type. He's a trainer type and a person that's like somebody that's a mental health advocate, kind of like Charlamagne God.
Shout out to me. I am too. I'm an advocate for mental health.
Yeah, everywhere, every
He's
show.
the opposite. He's
every show.
I'm Black Lives Matter. He's all lives matter.
Every show.
Oh, you all lives matter?
Hell no.
No, I ain't make that way, LP.
Hell no. They know I ain't know it.
Hey, this might be a good segue though.
Hell no. Yeah, okay, we're going to segue into it.
We're going to segue into the topic of the day.
Yeah.
We got my man on the show.
Hell no.
We got Victor on the show. We want him to discuss some topics with us. Yolanda, Yo-Yo, Janice, we not done. We got topics. Let's get to it. So we're about to show a clip. This clip is very important because Michael Jaleel
White. We're part
of
the cast now, man.
Michael Jaleel White, he broke down some shit. We want everybody to see the video and then we're going to talk about it. So this is the video. Y'all check it out.
Stop Asian Hate. I mean, come on, this is absolutely wrong. But I want you to notice one thing, that Stop Asian Hate, you go, okay, similar to Black Lives Matter, right? But what's different? There's no white opposition to Stop Asian Hate at all. You don't hear anything. If for the history of black people trying to stand up for each other, for the history of saying black is beautiful, Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. Well, wait a minute. But no, all lives. Stop Asian Hate. Okay.
Yeah, nobody's
saying stop all hate.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Where
absolutely
is,
right.
So it's like,
yeah, you're right.
I'm just going, this is a very teachable moment. We could learn something here. It's right in front of us right now. Stop Asian Hate. I don't hear nothing. Nothing. Why are people so comfortable when black people say, stop killing us, stop? No, we have to chime in on your matters. Why is that?
All right, so basically, it was a great conversation we were supposed to have, and Trent came through. We had to talk about his book. I'm sorry. Vin came through. We had to talk about it.
You got it.
He got it. So,
You're right, dog.
he said he's speaking facts, so we just wanted to discuss it. And I think, I'll go first, LB. I think this is a teachable moment for America, because we really do get pushback when it comes to black things, because Stop Asian Hate was all over the news, and they were really acting distraught by Asian. I didn't even know Asian hate was a thing.
It almost seemed like an agenda, but go ahead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was like an explosion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or the attacks and just this weird shit. But go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I was just saying that how fucked up society is, because he said it exactly. He said it perfectly, and it's so easy to not disrespect what he was. With all due respect, disrespectfully, he's saying, what about black people? Like with the Asian hate, like you said, there was no pushback. There was no all hate matters. There was no LBG community gets hate. There was not. We sat there, we watched them create an agenda, and we just have to accept it. And that's the sick part about it. People think mental illness is just you're born with it, but we're still being hurt daily by America. Because as black men, if that shit don't do something to your spirit, what he just said did something to my spirit. That's why it's on our show. Yeah. So as a black man, if that don't do something to your spirit, exactly what he said, because I know Asian hate is not like I'm not trying to diss any community. It's just not real.
Hold on. All right.
Go ahead.
This is how I feel. First of all, life. This shit is checkers. This shit is chess, not checkers. Everybody's playing and strategizing. The only people that's playing checkers is us. If we don't know that Asian, not all of them, I'm not saying all of them, but if we don't know that there's a disconnect between the black community and the Asian community, you have to be living up under a rock. We done had incident after incidents. They're attacking our women in their hair salons. They're attacking our women in their nail salon. They got the Asian boys that beef with Bloods and Crips. They got a whole range of things where this animosity between blacks and Asians has always been there. It never went nowhere. Now the only difference is that they have an ally now. And the ally are Caucasians.
No, but they already been considered model minorities. You know what I mean?
Because they are conservative,
and they create
and they vote conservative, and they have the same disdain for another culture of people, and so they have something in common.
That's deep.
Even though
That's deep, bro.
Even though they still have hate amongst each other, when you get to the elite level and you hear about China beefing with the United States, Japan beefing with the United States, Asian countries beefing with the United States. But when you get to a lower level that we on, they are in cahoots. They don't have no choice but to be in cahoots.
We got allies. Shout out to the Snow Bunnies.
Shit.
Shout
Shit.
out to the Snow Bunnies.
Boy,
We got
them
allies.
motherfuckers, boy.
I'm playing. I
Them
just seen
motherfuckers
a
will
joke on
switch
this
up.
the other day.
Them motherfuckers will switch up quicker than the motherfucker. They be like, "Did you see Tyrone shoot him?" Yes, sir.
Shout out mine. Love you, baby.
Yeah.
Love you,
Okay,
baby.
okay.
I was definitely a joke.
Yes, sir.
No, it's all right.
What's your opinion
go
on it,
ahead.
bro? What's your opinion on it? We just kind of wanted to. We know you're a guest on the show, and we know you probably got a lot of people that you rock with. We're not trying to put you in an awkward situation. See, the smartest dumb people. We about just being.
Asians make blue
We
food
about
money
just
off.
being three brothers. Look, I'm a project baby. What you expect from me?
Yeah.
And this is what the show is about. So we just want your opinion as a black man, a brother that's married interracially. What is your opinion on
Damn.
the Asian hate? He
You
said
might,
it already.
you
He
might
said- he
fuck
just-
off one
he
of the
just shot-
groupies, man.
he
Come
just
on,
shot it
man.
out.
It ain't no groupies, baby.
He just shot out his wife right in front of you.
It's no groupies, baby.
Yeah, fucked off one of the groupies, man.
Stupid.
Come on,
It's not,
man.
baby. It's
But
not.
so what's your
Go
opinion on
ahead.
it, bro? What's your opinion
Go
on the
ahead.
Asian hate? And do you think that it's like, how does it make you feel knowing that Black Lives Matter? We still got to say stuff like that, and then we got a new movement. First, it was I think LBG community and Black Lives Matter was.
No, hell no.
I-
Go ahead, because go
I
ahead.
think basically though, I think that there is quite possibly an agenda going on. That's what I think. I don't know if it's true or not, but I think there's an agenda going on. But I don't think that these things aren't happening to Asian Americans.
I agree, 1,000%.
These things are happening to Asian Americans. If they were happening, then there wouldn't be an uproar.
Well,
whether there be people that are, strategically going out and
Provocateurs.
doing it.
Provocateurs,
Yeah.
paid provocateurs.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes,
go ahead.
even though that there's people that are doing that, I think that they're doing that. I think that's a part of the agenda to do that.
Right.
And I do think that we don't get our respect on. I mean, Black Lives Matter, then you get some kind of pushback.
Right.
I don't think that's the Asians' fault. Who I do blame
No, not at all. It's not the Asian fault.
is you can't blame the scenario, because if I was, another ball is life conversion. If I'm being coached by a dude and I'm hooping, and the dude on the 7-8 person on the bench is not hooping, who you think gonna like coach?
Yeah.
Six
what
man.
I mean, I'm talking about the guy that's
Yeah,
hooping.
yeah,
The guy that's
right,
hooping.
right,
That's
right,
the ball is life
right,
conversion.
right,
You know what I
right.
mean? So, am I gonna be mad at the Asians for being treated how they supposed to be treated humans? You know what I mean? I blame
America.
America, but you know who
Trump. Are you
Biden.
talking about when he was
But
well,
I'm
what
talking
about when?
I'm not blaming Biden right now. I'm talking about Biden as far as within his first 100 days, he made that happen. But
Passed that law.
You passed that law.
Right, yeah,
But you couldn't pass the law. I mean, because that law is for Pacific Islanders
and Asians.
So it is for a specific
group of people.
demographic.
Right.
So that tells me that there should be something in place.
Between blacks and the police, and
between blacks and the
the
police.
hate. They was arresting
Blacks and
motherfuckers.
the
They
hate.
was arresting.
There needs something to be equal.
They
And
need to
then-
create a
but-
law that holds police accountable for any type of
But-
weird activity. They
Here
have
go the-
body cameras.
Here go the thing though. This has been long ongoing, and so that's the same way. I forgot who I was talking to yesterday. That same hate was pitted against blacks and the Irish when they first got over here, and the Irish was considered indentured slaves. That's where the word redneck come from.
Yeah.
And that they take the word redneck.
Ooh, you been listening to
they
Dr.
take-
Claude? What you been doing your
man,
Claude?
hey, man, hey, man.
Hey.
And so they
He be on his
talk
shit,
about
real,
us
real.
saying the word nigga, but the word redneck means an indentured slave that was out in the field whose head was red from slaving all day. The only difference between the redneck and the slave is that they only had to work for a period of time. We had to work indefinitely until they passed laws, until we did different things to try to free ourselves by buying each other, running away. And so that hate, they had riots when the blacks were first freed. The Irish and the black Americans, or black slaves, or Israelites, what I love to call them, you know what I'm saying, was going at it. They played a part in that. They all fighting for a job.
So for the people,
they all fighting for opportunity.
So the people that just came in, I got to keep the fans updated on what we're talking about. We're talking about why is Asian hate and Black Lives Matter. Why is Asian hate and Black Lives Matter not coexisting or in the same line? When it comes to Black Lives Matter, we hear all lives matter. Blue lives matter. When it comes to
Go ahead.
We plan when it comes to stop Asian hate. We don't hear no pushback. And we just wanted to have the conversation because as us as being Israelites, whatever you want to call us, we want to have this discussion because it's very deep, and this is what fucks up the black soul. Like, if you don't think that Biden, this is Biden's exact words on the Breakfast Club. If you're not black, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. How we allow a old ass white motherfucker tell me I ain't black because I ain't voting for him? How does that happen?
Well, I blame that.
He should have lost for just that.
No.
Go ahead.
No, because Biden needed to get Trump out of office.
But we should have.
So Trump get out by any means necessary.
Trump
That's
had
what
to
it
get
was.
Trump. Listen, I felt uneasy. I felt that my family wasn't safe with Trump. Like, that's how I felt in my soul. And first, whatever of these politics is, these human politics is. All that's needless to say, because I need, first off and foremost, I need to know I'm safe. My family's safe.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know,
I agree with you.
Screw me. My kids okay? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But Biden, Trump needed to get out, but Biden needed to pass an order because if he could do something for a specific demographic, he needed to do something specifically targeting what is going on over the past. For 400 years, but over the past, you could do it. Yeah. You can do it.
But why?
Just like those Czechoslovakians,
Why
they didn't think they could do it.
Why target?
Dropped, though.
Why target something that when you know that they're gonna vote for you regardless? They don't. You don't need. We don't have no agenda. When the LBGT was pushing that agenda back in the day, they had a caucus. They had people that was politicking and so they said, well, if you pass the same-sex marriage law, you got votes coming, sir. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
When Ice Cube and them created that black agenda for the Black America, whatever that weird shit is, they didn't respect them. The Bidens was like, we'll talk to y'all after.
So how we get that respect? How do we get validation to get that respect to be in those
I know where you're going with this. I know what you're about to say. I want it because it's.
Hold on, time out. I'm not. So first of all, we cannot get that validation of respect when our vote is not respected.
It is.
And so the
they
vote.
Try to do the most.
They come and say, I got hot sauce in my purse.
Come on, dog.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They come in and they pull up and they go to black churches and they do all this weird shit. You know what I'm saying? But the black vote isn't respected as far as how much that is count for. We already know that the Caucasian vote is divided. It's divided. Mm-hmm. It's not 100%. Mm-hmm. Even if it's 60-40.
And we are 100%.
Even if it's 60-40. Pro-Republican, 40 Democrat. Somebody else has to come in and play that role. We are the next up. And these individuals just straight up get our vote when we can decide who actually wins an election. Because they're not united on a front line.
You know,
they're not united.
I understand what you're saying, bruh.
Go ahead.
But I understand what you're saying.
Go ahead.
But the two options were Trump and Biden.
Okay. Let the white people fight it out. and we stay out of it.
But how? But the thing about it, we living in it though.
Okay,
We living in it, and we getting locked up because of it.
Let the white people.
Hold on.
I kind of agree with LB
Hold on.
a little bit. Let
Let me
I
touch
mean,
on it.
shit,
Let me
it's
touch
so
on
open,
it.
man.
Let me touch on it because then the
saying,
Hispanics is also living in it, but they got the DACA. They got all kind of bills and acts where they try to make these illegal Americans that got here illegally, and they got plans for them to be illegal citizens. And so they are counting on their votes. They are creating bills. They are creating different things
they are.
to win these votes.
They are.
They don't do shit for us. They come and say they coming.
And that's why
Chuck and John.
That's why I blame Biden though. That's the whole reason why I blame Biden, because this proves, just like that stimmy check drop, everybody was like, we really getting the stimmy? They could do that. The stimmy check drop. Same thing with Biden in this executive order. They could specifically target a demographic. Oh shit, the shit could be done.
Yeah.
So that's who I
dope.
blame.
That's dope.
Nigga,
That's who I mean. That's the ultimately the person who can blame.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, who do we have as a leader? Who do we have as a
entertainers?
Black America coming soon. Who do we have as a
Entertainers.
leader?
For sure.
We the only people with entertainers as leaders.
Black America coming soon. Who do we have as a leader that's gonna take that bullet? Who's going?
Can't be an entertainer. Can't be an entertainer.
It can't be an entertainer because
Can't be the niggas wearing Black Lives Matter shirts on the fucking court and kneeling.
Whoa! You don't like Black Lives Matter shirts on the court? Wait a second.
No, he said that he said that athletes representing us is the problem. They have.
We the only one that's represented by comedians, athletes,
I agree with
entertainers, musicians, everything. They can't change no laws. LeBron James can't change no law.
But he could damn sure influence it.
well, he's been influencing the whole push of Black Lives Matter. We still ain't got shit. He's been pushing that agenda. He just went.
Okay. This is
Go
the
ahead.
question I have.
Go ahead.
Is he really pushing it? That's the question I have.
No.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Hold on,
is
time
he
out.
really pushing it?
Hold on.
Or is he pushing it to a PC point where
I'm sure y'all fuck with y'all.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
When he gets on camera and says, Black Lives Matter, we can make a difference, hopefully in November.
Honestly, too, I can't talk crap on Bron.
Did he say that? Now, I ain't talking about Bronny. I love Bronny.
I love Bronny.
I ain't talking about Bronny.
I promise, because I promised Academy. That shit's dope. Like what he doing from.
I gotta read what Yo-Yo said. Yo-Yo said Caucasians aren't united with voting because most of them got money agendas and to abide by which Black Americans don't have a privilege to fight for because most are broke. I agree with you.
All that Gucci, all the Rolls Royces, all the motherfucking Polo, all the motherfucking Jordans every 90 days, and we ain't got no money?
We got money.
Come on
We
now.
got money.
Come
We
on
got
now.
money.
Come on, man. We got spending power.
We got
Mike
money.
Bizzle-
We
Mike
got
Bizzle
spending
said
all
power.
the motherfucking bottles of Hennessy,
Mike
all
Bizzle
that
said
motherfucking
they're uplifting everybody but
1738.
us.
We got spending power.
Who gonna
We got
uplift
spending
us?
power.
We got spending
So
We
power.
got
underestimate
spending
that
power.
shit. We underestimate that shit as a culture. We underestimate.
We
that
got
shit.
spending power. That's our leverage into this shit. But you absolutely right. It can't be an athlete, can't be a comedian. But who can it be? Because guess what? The people that actually know what's going on in these schools with the black kids that can actually digest, go to school and okay, let me tell you this. School, the concept, the structure of school, I'm an academician, is only there to put lingos or words to the stuff that you already know what's going on.
Like calling yourself black.
Yes. You already know what's going on, but it's put in words so that everybody can understand it universally.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Because that's just like the Constitution is written off laws, it's written off language. Those are business contracts that they have between different countries.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with me or you. They telling you, if you do this, if you delivering in commerce, then you have this ability. If you doing that, you have that ability. The Constitution, the laws of the land are written between countries, and language is the main thing.
Yeah.
That's the same way when lawyers go to school and they pass the bar test. It's called a British. It's some shit that they have learned culturally. It has nothing to do with your rights as an individual. And so when we go into courts and we stand there and we go, oh, okay, we don't know that we don't need a driver license. You know what I'm saying? We don't know these different things. We don't know that the bar exam is
based
based
to the
off
law. We stick it to the law.
in the law. In the law is it goes around the country. That's the same way when they made blacks American citizens or 1/4 of American citizens. That because we fell up under the Geneva Convention, because we was prisoners of war. Because we were from another country fighting in a war. And so they either had to send us back or they had to give us our own territory to create our own government. Like they did amongst each other. Like they did amongst each other. And so instead of doing that, they said, well, no, we're going to make them citizens of the United States. But we're not going to make them equal to an American citizen. We're going to make them 3/4 of a human being, 1/4 of a human being. It's a game. It's a game.
Words is the biggest
game. And so
language.
That's the same way the Native Americans, which I feel like that we are the Aborigines, but that's okay. But they get land off of the wording. You know what I'm saying? They get land just off the wording, just off the understanding.
I think they deserve land.
I think they deserve land too.
Said
they was here.
I got to read this off. Janice Johnson said the George Floyd bill passed through the House. Now it has to get through the Senate. It holds officers accountable for brutality, which would be more effective than executive order from Biden. So she's basically saying that the George Floyd law that they are creating that has to pass through the Senate would be more important than the law that was already passed by Biden. I don't know how. I mean, I ain't
okay.
Really
So
as long as we, this is what we can't do. We can't let that happen. When we talked about the Asian American bill that happened, the hatred bill, which is hate.
Right.
We can't let that happen and us not counter something and
want something to
force
return.
something
or ask for something.
We have to.
But who's going to ask?
Who? Black America coming soon. Hey, who? I mean,
yeah.
Who do you have?
I think the main thing is
who we gonna have? Who gonna ask?
The guy from Crumb?
He's just in everybody's pocket. He's an ambulance chaser.
Crumb?
He's the ambulance chaser.
He's an ambulance chaser.
I'm just saying who.
No, he can't
that's
be.
the only people. That's the only
he can't
person
be.
Who? I mean, who else has been in the news? Or who else is in the news as strategically not a businessman, but a dude of the law that can speak both languages? You know what language?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Speak both languages, transcend, and get people to
articulate. Okay.
Get people to understand.
All right, so
assimilate. Hold on, time out. Assimilate, because assimilation is where you can be one way, but then transcend into the culture, into different cultures, and then be accepted. That's assimilation.
Who do we have like that?
I'm going to read off what Yo-Yo said, because she said something that was tied into what we was talking about with the languages. She said, political language is dangerous as fuck. Black Americans must be versed in it in order to figure out they are really fighting for, and most Black Americans won't bother with it. So basically, again, they're saying that the language itself is what we're lacking. Like you just said, we don't need a license. We don't know that because we follow all laws. We were taught to follow all laws. You know what taught us that? I hate to break this down, but Christianity taught us to follow all laws.
How? When Christianity has nations, have understanding. Nobody is a color in the Bible. Everything's in the Bible. You have to be a nationality. You have to come from a tribe. You have to come from somewhere.
You don't
come from black.
You don't think the
you don't
heaven
come
and hell,
from white.
You don't think the heaven and hell
no,
affects the way people think?
hell no.
Where's that?
Heaven and hell. Like,
the only thing that
like
heaven
good
and hell.
bad.
The only
So,
thing heaven
I mean,
and
but the thing about it is that's real life though. Good and bad affects people's
you
lives.
whatever you put
for
into
sure.
life, you will get rewarded with.
Good or bad. If you
Good or bad.
If you plant a seed in that ground, regardless of what you think that seed gonna grow into, that seed gonna grow into something.
And you gonna get rewarded with. Everything comes with a price tag.
But-
there is no heaven or no hell. That's make believe. Heaven
Okay.
is gonna be not just a quick breakdown. We gonna get too biblical.
yeah.
But heaven is gonna be here on earth. We have once ruled this earth. We had the Byzantine Empire. We had Europa that was running Europe. All of these people were Hebrew Israelites. It's documented. You can read what's that? What's that? To Timbuktu.
So you think heaven's on earth?
Heaven's on earth.
Hey God,
It's in.
please, I don't think heaven's on earth.
It's in the prayer. It's in the prayer. They tell you do it on earth how you do it in heaven.
I'm asking God right now.
And so
Don't
we
let
think
this be heaven. please.
so because the thing is that
Please.
I'm happy to be alive, though, but it's terrible down there.
it's our hell. But there's some individuals out here that
That's
never
really
witnessed violence.
Yeah.
There's some individuals out here that never witnessed poverty. There's some individuals out here
I get what
who
you're
never
saying.
witnessed the downfalls and the bullshit that comes with society. That's the same way when the pandemic broke
I got
out.
a question for
Go
you.
ahead.
On that, that's some deep stuff right there. I got a homeboy in Argentina right now, living for $200 a month. You think he worried about the stuff that we worried about in America? Do you get what I'm saying?
I
No,
agree with
dog.
you.
Hold on. I had a motherfucking.
Everybody
and I
saying
got
hell is on earth. Everybody.
and hold on, and I got to say, hold on,
Earth is hell.
hold on,
Please
hold
don't
on,
let
time
this
out.
be heaven.
Hold on, time out. I know some motherfuckers that live in Harlington, Nebraska,
Yeah.
that there's never been a murder committed there. There's places in Nebraska that you can go to that never had a murder.
I'm sure.
That the individuals ain't living in poverty. That you don't have people sitting on the corners begging for money. There's places in the state of Nebraska,
Yeah.
not foreign countries. In the state of Nebraska, there are countries, there are counties. You won't see a bum on the street. You won't see a gang shooting. You won't see a robbery. They still sleep with their doors open.
Yolanda
But
said,
you
"To
know-
your black ass show up."
But you know
I feel
though
you. I feel
that
you.
those guys go to they go to homeless cities. Why would you stay in
Harlington, Nebraska.
Harlington, Nebraska if there's 40 people in the town and everybody know that person's a bum, why would you stay in a 40-person town where you could go to a 40 million town and possibly this guy you gonna get the guy that's just I feel good today. I'm gonna give you $20.
I can
You gonna
understand
get
that,
that person.
But even if that individual leaves that community is still living. Their doors are open. They're not worried about nobody
You're right.
robbing,
You're right.
stealing,
You're right.
killing. They're not worried about violence. They're not worried about
that's big
robbing.
city trouble.
And so I would think that's heaven on earth.
That's big city trouble.
If I can go to sleep with my door open,
But that's perception. That's what your perception of what you think heaven on earth is. It's not real perception.
I
of
can
what
agree
we
with
think
that.
We got
heaven
10
I can
is.
agree with
We
that.
got 10 more
I
minutes.
can agree with that.
We got 10 more minutes.
Go
I feel
ahead.
like we should jump topics. I really kind of feel like we should get the Drake shit in.
What June shit?
The Drake shit.
The Drake shit? Oh, go ahead.
Let's do it.
Go ahead.
So we got one more topic for tonight, y'all. Before we head up out here, we got 10 minutes. Drake was.
That went fast.
You think so?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready to chop. Shit. we just shit.
All right, so I don't know if you heard about what happened to Drake or what Drake was involved with, but Drake was called or considered now a home wrecker. So let me tell you what happened. He invited a young lady out to do a song, but she has a husband. Well, a fiance. They were together for 8 years. Listen, my woman ain't going. We're not going to the studio with Drake. I don't listen. She goes to the studio with Drake, fuck around and fucks with Drake, and now the woman and her fiance, soon-to-be husband, breaks up. So the question of the day, before we get up out of here, because we got 9 minutes left, is who's wrong? Is it Drake for breaking up this relationship, or is it the woman for letting it happen? I'll go first. I feel like, and Leland and them all.
No, he gonna go. We're gonna let the guests.
Listen,
we're gonna let the guests go.
I'm just soft at the heart.
Drake saved old boy's life. Because if I gotta worry about that, hey, you just saved me. If I'm old boy, I wouldn't thank Drake. You know, you snatched my chick. You know, but I would take it as thank you, because at the end of the day, like,
you turned me on to.
Well, you can't put me in front of Beyonce. I don't give a fuck if I got the. Oh, you can't put me in front of Beyonce.
But you can't knock Beyonce. That's the difference.
Hell nah.
Listen.
You can't knock Beyonce.
Listen.
But
Beyonce's finest.
Go ahead.
Beyonce's finest.
Go ahead.
You can't put me in the fucking studio with Beyonce while you at the hotel somewhere and Beyonce jump on top of me. You just can't. I got
you
plenty
can't
of
knock
temptations.
Beyonce.
Listen, I got plenty of temptations that I can handle. That I still, but Beyonce, I'm fucking her on the studio.
Right.
I'm sorry, it's
even if you're old lady.
It's Beyonce.
So even if Beyonce flow you down, you and your old lady hypothetically flown you down, and then she offered you some, and you take it, who's to blame?
Hey, baby.
This ain't no regular Joe though. This ain't no regular Joe.
Solid as a fucking rock. Solid. I'm saying solid.
Hey, Jackson!
I'm saying solid.
No, man.
What did we call that last week? It's a game.
You
want me to answer? You want me to answer that like that?
Hey, Jackson! We got a Jackson on the board.
Baby, I'm staying all the way solid.
Hey, Jackson!
I can't
now
do it.
Now I'm gonna keep it real though.
20. Okay, this is what I'm saying. 20 minutes of what?
10 minutes. For me, it's 3.
10 minutes
Three
of
what?
3 minutes.
That's it.
Fun.
10 minutes of fun.
3 minutes for me.
And cause she ain't fucking with you no more, cause you gave her 10 minutes.
It's never. Hold on. It's never.
She ain't fucking with you no more.
But it's never the actual physical engagement. It's the ego. It's the ego that you can say, I knocked somebody, girl.
Oh, ego. You can
It's the ego. It's the ego. And so that's the same way, even on a lower level. Men, women out here, if your girl is buying weed from the weed man, she gonna get hit. And that's just a fact.
I can agree with that.
She gonna get hit.
He gonna try.
He gonna try. He gonna fatten her bags up. He gonna and nigga, as soon as and then you looking like the square because this nigga the dealer, you the square.
I'm crying.
He's selling weed and drugs to you and her both.
Hey, your wife said my boo. All right, your wife said my boo.
Okay.
I'm staying solid.
Shouts out.
I'm staying solid.
Hopefully Beyonce don't call him down there. Hopefully he don't get no invite from Beyonce.
I'm coming home to you, sweetie. Don't let these. Hey, listen.
Beyonce get this book right here.
They want to publish it personally. They want to branch out. Beyonce want to branch out. Make sure y'all get this book. We're about to get up out of here.
Hold on, time out, man. We didn't get this finished. But listen. The weed man can hit the other man's woman. Because
not any woman though.
Well,
not any woman.
Women loves
not any woman.
The perspective of power. That's the same way when I, in my little stint of selling drugs, I went from some little humble, weird dude to I started thinking I'm Scarface and I'm talking crazy to the motherfucking fiends. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling fiends, who the fuck you think I am? What you coming to me with this change? You know what I'm saying? And I just thought, so the position of power in society, period, changes individuals. So when you fly down with your old lady fuck that. The weed man is in a position of power. You going to him asking for narcotics? He's giving narcotics to you and your old lady. She needs some narcotics.
That's why I won't deal with a woman
She's
that
gonna
smoke.
call
I
him.
wouldn't deal with a woman that smokes.
She's gonna
That's-
call him for the narcotics.
I wouldn't deal with a woman that smokes.
And then
because of that.
nigga
You
come
ain't going to
through.
no weed, man.
You ain't got to worry about that, baby. Honey, take the bag for
You ain't
free.
going to no fucking weed, man.
Take the bag for free. And then don't get in a situation where the nigga ain't got no money and they arguing about the weed. And they arguing about the weed because the nigga broke. Drake flied them down.
Drake fried him down.
Drake flied them down.
do a song,
Nigga,
though.
you can't fly me down to do nothing with my old lady, nigga. If I can't pay for it and do it myself, we ain't doing it.
Well,
you ain't
I'm sure they
flying
got
me
I'm sure
down
they got a
and
nice
putting me
feature.
up. Listen. You want to do a song with her? Bust the contract out. Let's get some business. You know what I'm saying? You can't. Damn, I'm saying, here go my mask. Where's my mask? I need a mask.
Whatever.
I'm spitting all over.
You are, but you're being passionate. You're being passionate.
Again, he's in the state of to where another man
Has
is
control.
calling the shots and showing signs of power.
So
And
you saying that that's
everybody
what
loves
drives women?
that would drive women.
Nah. I mean,
Everybody
not all
loves
women.
all women. That's the same way.
What is the? So you say all women love the
Alpha.
The alpha.
All
The
women
nigga,
love the alpha.
so that's the same way. And we always
What
talk,
defines the alpha though?
when he get around his boys or he get around other individuals and he's the funniest, he's the strongest, he's calling out the shots, he's telling men what to do, what not to do, where to go, where not to go. That's the alpha. When you get into a group of alphas,
Shout out to Scarface.
then that's where you be getting the arguments and the loud shit and the motherfucking nigga is crazy.
Yeah.
But then you know what I'm
Shout out
saying?
to the smartest dumb
So
people
just think though,
surrounded by
that
alphas.
Drake. Just think though that the man is sitting in the studio with his wife, and Drake and then no, redo that.
Well, he
no,
the one that's
no.
tripping. Did he ride up there with him?
He flew
Listen.
them both out.
He flew them both out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's his
I don't
fault.
give a fuck if my
That's
girl.
the nigga fault.
I don't give a fuck if my
man.
woman.
He a duck.
I don't give a fuck if my
He a
woman got
duck.
the best voice
He
on
a
the
duck,
planet.
man.
We gonna weigh our options, Drake.
He's a duck, man. Like, I mean, if he got flued out with his girl,
And it's the same thing with the
That's
weed
a duck.
man. When the weed
Got
man
picked
pull
up in a
up,
fucking Rolls Royce.
when the weed man pull up, and
Stay in
say
a 5-star hotel.
what you want. Your girl sitting right
we just
next
want
to
your girl
you.
to come. We don't want nobody in the studio. You
Yeah,
got
he
me
is
fucked up.
I thought that. I just thought that
He flew the girl
he
up.
flew the girl out.
No.
And he was like,
No, dude was
Nigga,
going-
he put you up like
You
you
a
a
duck.
bird.
yeah, you a duck.
He put you up like an Instagram model.
Yeah, you a duck,
He
bro.
flew you out first class. You and your old lady. You like an Instagram model. He giving y'all hotel money. He giving y'all money to buy food. And then she looking at this like,
And he handsome. And he's a good
I
looking
don't know
guy.
about that, sir. I won't know nothing about that,
Yeah,
sir.
he
I don't know nothing.
I'm comfortable with my sexuality. And he's a
I don't
handsome
know nothing
guy.
about
What
that,
do you
sir.
expect?
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about that, sir.
And he's the hottest rapper on the fucking planet for the
I
last
don't know
15
nothing
years.
about that,
What
none
did
of
you
that,
expect
man.
to happen?
No, I don't expect that to happen. If you my girl, I don't expect that to happen.
Because you trust your woman. But I'm saying,
That's what I'm saying. Before I got some dirt, like before I got some skin in the game, some dirt in the game, would I trust that off rip? No.
What we got?
But
Story.
now,
we about to get up out of
if
here.
you
Hold
want
on.
to do
I
that,
got story time before we go.
Shit, we got
Go ahead,
skin.
tell me the story.
Story time. I had a homeboy who was living in, who was in the army, right? He was in stationed in Massachusetts or something. He was fucking with his chick or something. This nigga told me that Terry Glenn was texting his old lady,
Who the hell's Terry Glenn?
the wide receiver from the
Oh.
Patriots. The Terry Glenn, the motherfucker that
Yeah.
played, was texting his old lady. I said, dog, she gone. No, she ain't. No, she ain't. I trust my woman. And I was sitting there looking at this nigga and I said, dog,
He goes.
she texting somebody that plays in the NFL. And you sitting here trying to convince me, you as an army private,
He ain't got enough rank.
You as an Army private holds a chance that this man ain't gonna take your woman.
Yeah.
It's craziness. As soon as I went to somebody's phone, I see Terry Glenn. I'd have packed my shit up. Okay, okay, ma'am. All right, it's nice to know you. You know what I'm saying? I done got on down the road. Yeah. I can't do nothing. This nigga got millions of dollars. This nigga, I don't know, ain't no telling what this. I can't do nothing with Terry Glenn. This nigga worked out. I ain't worked out. You know what I'm saying? What it's make believe.
He ain't work out. He missed his pull-ups that week.
Yo, before we get out of here, make sure y'all tap in with Captain Buckets.
Hey man, make sure y'all tap.
How much is
hey
the
man,
book?
type. Can you type it into the? Can you type?
I'll get the link from him and I'll put it on our page. I'll get the link from him.
No, just type it in right there, yo.
I stay ready. That's the part of this.
Okay, so hey, look.
He got some other, but go ahead. He got some other organizations he wanted to shout out. You want
to give out your handles?
For sure. GBOD Hoops on Instagram. GBOD Sports on Facebook. Get Buckets or Die, Get Better Off Dedication, whatever you want to call it, whatever fits your scenario situation at the point. I just want to make the kids better. I want to keep it real with them, but I also want to teach them in a non-traditional way because ultimately the only thing we got is the people that we pass this knowledge we got right now down to. Mm-hmm. So that's all I want to do. Captain Buckets is a part of my brand, GBOD. And it's a part of the Black America series.
Black owned.
This is a part.
Keep screaming out to Black America. What's that?
Black Amir.
Black Amir. Oh, Black Amir.
Okay. But 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock.
Oh man, we got 5 minutes. 8 o'clock. We start late. We can end late.
This that shit, man. It's 8 o'clock. Look,
man, we just get to chopping, man. Shit, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go another hour.
I definitely ain't. Hey, look. That's the show. This is the Smartest Dumb People.
I appreciate you guys for having
great,
me.
For sure.
Hey man,
for sure.
Love that you came on, bro. Love that you came on, man.
For sure.
For sure.
Appreciate the love.
This is the Smartest Dumb People. Y'all have a great night.